Jamal Niaz here with the main man of Misfits, Mams Taylor. One of the wildest press conferences yet. That was a bit of a rude awakening for Darren Till. He's not experienced the Misfits side of things on that scale. Obviously the Tommy Fury thing was a bit different.
I mean, he went nuts that day as well, so he did seem a little surprised by it all, yeah.
I mean, the implications for the future of Misfits within the main event is absolutely massive, because Darren's gone out and said that he wants to be ready for the KSI card. We hopefully will find out more about that this weekend. We'd like to know what his next moves are going to be. And obviously Anthony Taylor, he would like a one-on-one with KSI. I know he keeps talking about Jake Paul, but he didn't get the opportunity to step in there with KSI last August, did he?
Look, everyone wants the big money fights, you know, but sometimes we plan for stories and then the story writes itself. Let's see what happens. We'll have a lot more answers than questions, and then on Saturday night.
If KSI is fighting someone different in March, but Darren wants to be available, he said he's going to carry on training straight after this fight, he wants to be ready in March, could Darren Till be a co-main event on KSI's card?
KSI has a hit list, and Darren's name may or may not be on it after Saturday night.
Okay, I like that. Also, I know Amir Khan was talked about for a long time with KSI. Was that ever close to happening? Is that still a real possibility at some point?
I think so. I think it is a possibility at some point. Amir and I spoke. Very good guy, very respectful, funny guy. And then when some of his representatives and ours started talking, it started going a bit left, you know, and I think we can bring it back at some point and figure it out. But it was a good start, rough middle. Let's see if we can finish it at some point. But I think that's a fight that the public would love to see, and it's something we would love to make happen at some point.
Personally, as the boss of Misfits, how annoying was it seeing how Tommy Fury pulled out of that fight and the reason that he gave to the public? Darren Till doesn't believe that was the actual reason. Just for yourself, that was a massively exciting main event to start the year, and to work with Tommy outside of that KSI capacity, that was massively exciting for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We were gutted, but listen, we came back strong. Tommy's we're working it out with Tommy. Obviously he owes us a couple of fights, and you know, there's consequences to things like that happening, so hopefully we'll be able to resolve it.
Is there anyone in mind that you'd like to see Tommy fight? If it's not going to be KSI, is there anyone on the roster right now that you'd like to see Tommy fight for Misfits?
We'll see. I'm working on a couple of things. So,
is he contractually obliged to fight with you? Is that what you're saying? He owes you something contractually?
He signed a contract, so we've got to figure it out. But that's all I'll say about it. But yeah, I think anything's possible to be figured out amicably and nicely, and that's where we're at.
100%. And the Newcastle card back in September had one of the biggest stars in combat sports history there, Nate Diaz. I had a chat with him, and he likes the Misfits product. He likes the way that you do business. Have you had a chat with Nate at all? Do you think it's possible that we could see him in a Misfits boxing ring?
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Really, I'm a big fan of Nate's. Really get along with his team as well, and except for when Chris has a hissy fit after the fights, but even him and I are really cool, and I think they're good guys. We'll see. Anything's possible, you know. Did
you happen to talk business with him in Newcastle? I know he was a bit in and out for him. There wasn't much time.
Basically, when I answer a bit without giving away too much, let's move on to the next question.
I'll take the hint.
Yeah.
I know that you've had discussions with a lot of big names in the football world as well. I know you've talked to Wayne Rooney in the past, Zlatan Ibrahimovic as well. They could be potential at some point. I know Rooney's left his job as a manager now.
I would love that. I really would. I want to diversify. And look, I talk about it, but it's not easy to make those things happen. It's really up to them. They flirt with the idea on a Monday, decide it's not a great idea on a Tuesday, and then back at it next week thinking maybe it is a good idea. So it's something that we've got on our radar. I'm constantly in everyone's ear to try and make things like that happen. So rest assured you guys will, there are some things that are coming up that will surprise people as well, so in that space.
The last time Misfits Boxing were in this room was the Prime card, which was an absolutely incredible fight week. It was the last time we saw Logan Paul in a boxing ring. I'd love to know is it possible to see him back in a Misfits ring maybe this year? I know he's got his contract with the WWE, he's kind of focused on that right now, but There's dollar signs with Logan Paul, isn't there?
Listen, I think Logan's amazing at wrestling and he's really enjoying it, and he knows the door's open if he ever wants to box. We'd love to have him on, so you never know, but we haven't spoken about him boxing for a while.
Final one from me. What are the 5 fights in Misfits that you'd like to see this year, or if you're not going to give anything away in that capacity, just 5 fights in the sport of boxing you'd like to see this year as a fan as well?
In traditional boxing, I think credit to Turkey. He's making all those fights happen, so I don't have to wish for them anymore. So, big respect.
What about the Misfit space? Is there anything that you'd like to see?
Of course, I'd love to see KSI versus Jake Paul. We know we've wanted that fight for a long time. Finally, I think the audience, and the collective fans, even Jake Paul fans, see that we're not the fight that they want for a very specific reason. It's the biggest fight out there, but we can't force anyone to fight.
Okay, I appreciate the time. Thank you. We covered a lot of ground there.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Great stuff.